Live slow, live it up, watching time go. Planning moves, things solid to this cheat code. Get your money, make it big, fuck being broke. Get your money, make it big, fuck being broke. Live slow, live it up, watching time go. Making moves, things solid to this cheat code. Get your money, make it big, fuck being broke. Get your money, make it big, fuck being broke. This how it is, the mission's Benjamins. And fuck the drama and the bullshit, we ain't little kids. My circle small, but my riders heart, they never quit. Get your money, keep it gangsta, solid, straight legit. Never switch like the real ones that die for this. It's fucked up, but this is truly how it is. I hope you're ready if you're picking this like full of sin. No turning back, I represent my Vario to the end. Fuck the fakes and the snakes and everyone that hates. I'm not phased, I won't break, bitch, I'll never.
You are now watching M.O.D Entertainment.
What up, G-Life? This right here is beautiful Killer Cali, California. You already know California being home to hundreds and hundreds of gangs. It definitely gets on and cracking. And today we're going to be bouncing around from different area, county to county and all of that. Covering all brown rag neighborhoods. You know what I mean? All neighborhoods that sport the brown rag and actually have the brown, title in their name. All brown barrios. The brownie hoods. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of them. So before anybody says you left out this video, you left out this barrio, you left out this barrio, it's gonna have to be done in several videos, about 3 to 4 of them, because there is that many neighborhoods that use brown rags and have the brown title in, their name. So with no further ado, let's get into it. Now, starting off, we'll probably be starting off with the oldest one on the list, and probably the largest one on the list. And for this one, we actually have to make our way down to the area of Commerce, the city of Commerce. Commerce is city already right here located within East Los Angeles, heading into the south side of Los Angeles and the southeast. You know what I mean? Depending which way you're coming from. Now, this is a pretty average size city. And it does have neighborhoods, despite what individuals want to say, you know what I mean? Commerce is home to, not that many gangs, but still several gangs, you know what I mean? Choppers 12, Crazy Ass Lunatics, and neighborhoods like that. And then you have the Vario BH. Vario BH is a neighborhood that has already been established right here since the 70s, I was told, is when this neighborhood was established. And the Vario stands for Brown Neighborhood. Brown Neighborhood is probably the largest neighborhood in Commerce. And like I said, old school, because it's been around since the 70s, you know what I mean? And these guys handle business. And they're located on the south side of Commerce, to be exact, while the rest of the neighborhoods that reside in the city of Commerce stay closer to the east side of Commerce, by Whittier. These guys are the only neighborhood that's located on the south side of Commerce, even though you have like several other neighborhoods that they go at it with around the area, like JBI and neighborhoods like that, that just, drift around that area. This is actually their home, their neighborhood, and, their stomping grounds, pues, you know what I mean? They're the originators out of this neighborhood, out of the city and out of the south side. So these guys, been right here handling theirs. And like I said, these guys ain't no suckers, man. These guys been doing it and have real riders, that been holding it down for their barrio. On the south side of Commerce, everything that's close to the parque that's right there. The Rosewood Park? Yeah, that's the name of the park. And like I said, this neighborhood is about the business, because I was at least told that there's several hundred members to this barrio. You know what I mean? So they do have, the manpower. Even though people don't want to believe, nah, there's not that many fools in the city of Commerce. Nah, it's all chill right there. Nah. You come over here, thinking that it ain't nothing, homie, you gonna get dropped. These guys handle business. They run mugs. You know what I mean? I seen it myself, and I see the activities by these guys, you know what I mean? These guys definitely handle business and continue to still put theirs on the map and holding it down for that brown neighborhood in the city of Commerce on the south side. Now, another barrio that you have with the brown title that are brown raggers. For this one, we actually have to make our way to the area of Whittier. Yes, Whittier is home to, one of these neighborhoods. You know, and to be exact, we're heading to the upper part of Whittier, to the uptown part of Whittier is where we're able to find this barrio, which is known as the Brown Brotherhood, Southeast Barrio, Brown Brotherhood, obviously Southeast, referring to the areas like Whittier, you know, Norwalk, all of these, rumbos over here, Santa Fe and all of that. And this is where they originated at. The Brown Brotherhood does come from right here, from the Southeast. Because this barrio is a barrio that is, you can find several spots. You can find them in Albuquerque, New Mexico. You can find them in Northern California by Vallejo. So you can find this barrio, through several spots, not just right here in the Southeast. This is where they originated at. This is their birthplace. But like I said, since then they have migrated to different areas and, established within those areas, like Northern California and like Albuquerque and stuff like that. And they're all one united neighborhood, you know what I mean? They all claim, the same, so it's not like they're two separate neighborhoods or whatever. You know how it is, homies move to different locations, establish, set up, start recruitment, and etc. And the Brown Brotherhood neighborhood is a real barrio, you know what I mean? Because I do get individuals saying, otherwise, but nah, this is a real barrio that's been holding it down since the, mid-90s, like late 80s, early 90s, por allí. Now, the Brown Brotherhood neighborhood, at least here in the Southeast, they're up to 40 to 60 members just right here within the Southeast. You get what I'm saying? But all together, obviously, it's a more larger neighborhood if you add up all the upstate homies, because I was told in Northern California, at least from what I was told, that there are like about 40 to 50 members over there. And in Albuquerque, I was told that there are about 60 to 70. So you're talking about a few hundred heads, you know what I mean? So as a whole, this neighborhood is a lot more larger. But in each and every individual spot, they're not as big. But like I said, they're real individuals that do real things, you know what I mean? Especially right here in the Southeast, I mean, they don't try to put the gang injunction on you for nothing, you know what I mean? They do that because, neighborhoods are running loose and running mucks, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what's up with the Southeast Brown Brotherhood, another brown ragging brown neighborhood, you know what I mean? Now, to find the next barrio up on the list, we don't actually have to travel far at all. You know what I mean? Still maintaining ourselves right here within the Southeast. But for this one, we actually have to head on over to the area that is known as Pico, Rivera. Yes, Pico, Rivera is home to one of these brown neighborhoods. But this one being a little bit different. The reason for that is because this one used to be actually a tagging crew. Then tag bangers, then, established themselves as a neighborhood, which is known as the Vario BH. BA translating to Vario Brown Authority or Brown Assassins. You hear Brown Authority more than anything else. From time to time you do hear Brown Assassins, but Brown Authority is, the one that you hear more often than not. Is the one that, people actually recognize them more, by that title. And yes, they are a real neighborhood, you know what I mean? Achieves a status, you know what I mean? Because you do get individuals that be like, nah, that's not true, wooty wah. They can say what they want, it is what it is, you know what I mean? Hate it or love it, it doesn't change the facts. Facts are the facts. And Brown Authority, like I said, they were tagging crew that became, tag bangers and then established to become a neighborhood. You know what I mean? They were a large tagging crew as it was, at least from what I was told, is that there were roughly about 50 to 60 members. But not only them sticked around when they transitioned into neighborhood, but they were like about 45 to 50 heads, you know what I mean? So still, large for a crew in itself, you know what I mean? And yes, they are right here in the area of Pico Rivera, you know what I mean? Close to where like the Pico Viejo neighborhood is at, because they do go at it with the gangs. Even when they were tagging crews, they were going at it with these neighborhoods, you know what I mean? They ain't no suckers. They weren't just letting themselves get punked around. They were standing their ground and going heads up with these neighborhoods, you know what I mean? Law enforcement was already recognizing them as a gang because they were shooting, claiming territory. Everything that a neighborhood was doing, these guys were doing, you know what I mean? They were getting homies were locked up. So this neighborhood was really about their business, you know what I mean? So they really have held it down and been putting theirs on the map for that Brown Authority, the BA right here representing out of the Southeast. For the next neighborhood on the list, we actually have to make our way down to the area of Downey. yes, Downey does have Varrios, has several of them actually, you know what I mean? Despite what individuals want to say, Downey is, even though it's lovely and nice, like I said, don't judge a book by its cover. Just because an area looks nice doesn't mean that it is nice. Gangs could exist anywhere and everywhere. You get what I mean? That's just how it is. People like to talk without knowing because, Downey is home to several gangs, you know what I mean? From Dog Patch, to the Crazy Ass Lunatics, to the BALs, to several barrios, and one of them being the BC23. BC23 was a tagging crew that became a neighborhood. At least from what I was told, they became a neighborhood. They were roughly always a small crew, so still a small neighborhood. Roughly only like about 20 to 30 members. Still, at those numbers. And they were around since the 2000s. And didn't, they're roughly still just like a new neighborhood established. And BC standing for actually Brown Crowd. Brown Crowd is, what their, clica stands for. You can find them close to the parque right there in Downey. Almost by the park that has the lake right there. I forgot the name of that parque. But that's where you can find the BC23 neighborhood. And by the high school, obviously, because that is where it was established, that was their birthplace, pues. You get what I'm saying? Because like I said, Downey does have, several, not only neighborhoods, but even like tag banging crews and stuff like that. So it does crack right here in Downey, despite what individuals want to say. But yeah, the Brown Crowd right there representing out of Downey. Now, to find the next barrio, we actually have to make our way down to the west side of Los Angeles. Yes, West LA is home to one of these brown neighborhoods. Now, this one being a little bit different because this one actually started off as a tagging crew, tag bangers, roughly around the early 2000s, you know what I mean? Which was the Vario BR. BR, was stood for Brown Riders, and then they transitioned into tag bangers, and then from tag bangers to a neighborhood, which now it stands for Vario Brown Raza Locos. Brown Raza Locos is located right here in West LA by Koreatown, is where you're able to find the BRLS neighborhood. The Brown Raza Locos, but not just in West LA, but you can find them spread out, several other spots, even in the San Fernando Valley, you know what I mean, by the city of Arleta. So, they do have members scattered around, you know what I mean, but they're not like a large neighborhood, at least from what I was told, that this neighborhood is roughly about 55 to 60 members max, within, all the areas where their neighborhood is established at. So like I said, not a large neighborhood because like I said, they haven't been around that long. They were a tag banging crew that started roughly around the early 2000s, and then didn't transition to become a neighborhood until like roughly around like 2014, 15. So, as of recently, so they don't have that long. But they are a real neighborhood that handled, their thing. I got a few homies out of this neighborhood, like the homie Troubles, from that Brown Raza Locos. And like I said, this neighborhood does real things, and they continue to represent for theirs and the Brown Raza and putting theirs on the map, you know what I mean?
Thank you for watching M.O.D. Entertainment. Make sure you like and subscribe.